Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. We're here at Blood Pine Woods with the Empire versus the Greenskins, so a nice classic matchup. I've got some Pistoliers in Vanguard here. As you can see, we've got Volkmar on his wagon, plus a steam tank. Gotrek hiding behind a tree here. In the woods, we've got our infantry force of Tattersouls, Sigmar's Sons, a couple of swordsmen, spearmen, and a single unit of Demigryph Knights with halberds, a Jade Wizard for some healing. From the forest, we've also got some Squig Hoppers coming. Looks like the T-Frabas. Interesting choice here. The Chariot and the Big Boss also. Whole bunch of Savage Orc Biggins with a Black Orc mixed in. Grimgor leading the way. We've got a Night Goblin Shaman and, of course, the Spiders and Night Goblins out towards this flank. Currently getting skirmished by the Pistoliers here. Pistoliers going to do very good damage to these Spider Riders. I'm also shooting with the cannon at them just to try and max out the damage. We do have a bit of a fight between the Squigs and my infantry, which isn't going to go particularly good for the Empire infantry here. Thankfully, we do have these guys, the Demigryph Knights in here. Looks like a nice sneaky, sorry, not sneaky stabbing, itchy nuisance there on my units, but we are able to break many of the Squigs. Volkmar charges in, gets a huge soul fire on a bunch of these goblins, and the massive overwatch fire from the Pistoliers as well. Just absolutely brutal. Some fanatics do get loose, do a little bit of damage to the Pistoliers, but we're going to be able to pull away reasonably effectively there. Going to have to be careful not to get caught up by those Savage Orc Biggins, though. You can see Volkmar is going to be charging in there. My opponent actually pulls the Squigs up and around to try and get on these Pistoliers. I've already generated quite a bit of value from them, but they are going to start to get tied up a little bit now. You can see Spider Riders get on them here. I mismicro them and get them caught by Biggins as well, so a little bit tough, but we did win this fight pretty decisively over here, so I can now come collapse with the Tattersouls. Looks like a banishment coming in from Volkmar as well. Right on these goblins, just going to do a ton of damage. Roll right down the line of goblins, so very advantageous for me. Definitely generating some great value. Steam Tank now shooting at the Squig Hoppers, that they're able to chase away some of my Pistoliers here. Gotrek still just chilling for the time being. I don't really need to use him to protect like Volkmar, the Steam Tank, right now. So we're just keeping him in reserve for the time being. A few more Pistoliers still hanging around. Most of my infantry, it's kind of a mixed bag here, but these Tattersouls eventually get caught up here against some Black Orcs, and that's going to be pretty bad for them, obviously. We do dump a regrowth just because I don't have that many good targets. I guess I probably should have saved that regrowth for later on in the game, maybe for like Gotrek or the Steam Tank, but wanted to keep the Tattersouls fighting for as long as possible, and just because they have a lot of HP. You know, maybe they can stand up a little bit longer to those Black Orcs, at least hold them in place. You take an overarching look, the Greenskins life cav is starting to get to me. We're starting to lose out on the mobility advantage, which is tough. My Jade Wizard's going to get caught up here by these Savage Orcs as well, and not going to be able to escape from that situation. So, tough all around. Grimgor coming in to deliver some justice, some Greenskins-style justice to Volkmar, but of course he doesn't care too much. He's just going to ride away, swing his hammer at those Squig Hoppers as they pull across here as well. And yeah, Steam Tank grinding now with the Tattersouls, able to come in here and do some good armor-piercing anti-infantry. Sneaky stabbing on the Black Orcs as well, but together the Tattersouls and the Steam Tank should do okay there. More Fanatics being unleashed, but Greenskins having a hard time holding the leadership together. Volkmar does get caught out here, though, by Grimgor, which is not great. Going to take a bunch of damage. Meanwhile, Gotrek is easily dispatching the Goblin Shaman, but then he's going to start to get surrounded by Savage Orcs, which is not the best. He will take a lot of damage from those Savage Orc Biggins because of their high weapon strength. So I'm going to need to be careful about that. We bring in the Demigryph Knights here to deal with these savages, and also Volkmar is going to come in with a rear charge. Of course, his Chariot does magic damage, so he'll be able to get some good work done. Demigryph Knights will take some damage here, though, of course, from the anti-large of the Biggins, and just their high weapon strength in general. So Soulfire going to be popped. Again, more magic damage against these Biggins with no armor. They'll take a lot of damage from that Soulfire. Going to be very cost effective in that situation. Steam Tank mostly lost out on its support. We've still got a handful of Tattersouls and Sigmar's Sons still fighting Unbreakable in the end here, holding up a few units, but the Steam Tank starting to take some damage now as well from the boys as Grimgor comes in with his Black Orcs, gets a nice rear attack with the Steam Gun there, and now coming for a side charge. We're going to try and get in and get close to some infantry support. Maybe get Gotrek in on like a rear attack on Grimgor or something, but you can see we did deal with those Savage Orcs. So, looks like another banishment coming from Volkmar, just going to rip apart those savages. Get back where you came from, orcs! Volkmar, absolute brutality here. Probably racked up a ton of kills. Yeah, 253 kills and climbing, as many of those orc units are going to flee through that area of effect there. So yeah, Grimgor's still very healthy though, and you can't discount Grimgor. He's very scary. There are also quite a few black orcs in here as well, so Demigryph Knights, Volkmar, the steam tank, a big messy blob fight at this point. Just all around chaos. Gotrek not really mixed up in there, but he is going to eventually come in and start to do some attacks on the Black Orc himself. Maybe try and get some damage done. Maybe. Oh, come on, Gotrek. Here we go. Gets a good attack there. And now Gotrek, it looks like, and Grimgor are properly going to fight here. So we'll kind of keep it close as these two slug it out. Oh, man. Demigryph Knight also kind of taking some of that splash attack as well. And now the Black Orcs blocking that attack for Grimgor, so definitely not a totally fair fight here, but still pretty good. Gotrek's taking some damage, but of course the buffs from Volkmar definitely help. One more Waaagh being popped from Grimgor there, as many of his units try and come in and bail him out. But at this point, the Greenskins just looking a little bit thin on the ground. Grimgor is still super healthy, but the rest of the units have been worn away here, just through attrition and everything. You can see we've still got 9 Sigmar Sons, 1 Tattersoul. Man, this is the guy, wherever he is, this guy. Can't hardly see him in the pile of bodies here, but he's going to go all in on Grimgor for the Empire. Him and Gotrek, the unbreakable squad here, duking it out. Oh, man. Oh, and is he dead? Oh, no, he's still good. He's still fighting. That 1 Tattersoul is still all right with 44 HP. The 9 Sigmar Sons as well. Grimgor comes in to put a good beating on the steam tank. Just going to steam him in the face as it pulls away. Runs over the goblin. Pulls away again. And that 1 Tattersoul. Oh man, a nice clip from Volkmar's chariot knocks him over. And here comes the Tattersoul and the Sigmar Sons. Man, Grimgor really is huge though, huh? Forget sometimes how massive he is, but Demigryph Knights coming in here, charging on these regrouped Black Orcs. They're going to get routed relatively quickly there. And we're going to go ahead and come in here. Doesn't quite knock Grimgor over, unfortunately, but he is going to get poked a couple times. Oh, here we go. Now Gotrek can actually get some attacks in. Gets a good attack there, gets some good damage in. And the Demigryph Knights don't really have anything else to fight, so it's just Grimgor. And you can see he has been getting worn down by this kind of hit and run over time. So we'll continue to fast forward as Grimgor kind of gets taken out. I do want to keep some cinematics of these Demigryph Knights fighting. And although the Royal Altdorf Gryphites are obviously pretty strong, I love the regular color scheme with the red and gold for the Demigryph Knights. I think it looks great. But yeah, steam tank dropping some shots from a distance. Rear charge from Volkmar. Going to be more than enough to get rid of those squig hoppers. Calls down a Soulfire as well. Grimgor still fighting, but oh man, how about that finish, huh? Photo finish from Volkmar, bringing down the light of Sigmar from the sky. So, very fun game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that one. Yeah, Demigryph Knights, 138 kills, 2 XP chevrons, definitely played a very key role in dealing with the Greenskins' mobility, and then also in the late game, you know, going after the few armored units that my opponent had as well. 295 kills from Volkmar, just about broke 300 there against the Greenskins. He definitely has the power to clear out the hordes like no other Empire Lord. Gotrek, of course, providing you the single entity stopping power and able to fight, you know, like spiders potentially or things like that. So definitely a pretty fun build. I'm not the biggest fan of Flagellants, as many of you may know. Tattersouls, though, for the extra models, I do think can be pretty good, especially in this matchup. They match up very favorably with Goblins. Here, they were kind of thrown into some situations where they didn't do amazing, but still, the fact that these two units are unbreakable does mean that they'll hang around with a couple of models into the late game, and as we saw there, that can sometimes help distract some attacks, you know, bog units down. So very good stuff. Steam Tank as well, 69 kills, XP Chevron. Did a great job being a distraction and shooting my opponent's cavalry as well. I'm not really sure what happened to the Tifrabas. I think they got tangled up with the Demigryph Knights at one point, but from my opponent's side, Savage Orc Biggins, very strong unit, as are Black Orcs. You can see they cleaned up a lot of kills, some XP Chevrons. The Night Goblin Vanguard ended up being a little bit rough there. I think he probably should have stayed a little bit tighter with those Savage Orcs. just to provide the poison kind of in that front line and get like a full envelopment with everything all at once. The Squig Hoppers as well, they ended up doing okay with chasing off the Pistoliers, but did get a pretty bad engagement in that initial run. So yeah, it's an interesting matchup. Greenskins and Empire are both factions that are very well balanced, so you can kind of go in a bunch of different directions. But this is definitely one way. The double Terror Chariot for the Empire is definitely pretty tough for the Greenskins to deal with, depending on the build that they've brought. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this one. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.